ago.
Okay.
I have a degree in supply chain that I did absolutely nothing with.
Okay.
So got into real estate because it was an opportunity for me to get into an occupation where I could get out what I put in. And for a wide-eyed, hungry young kid, that was awesome. So started bottom of the ladder. I was actually an unpaid assistant for a team of real estate agents and eventually graduated to being an agent. I did that for several years, and I got the opportunity to run a brokerage in Austin, which was awesome. Lots of learning, lots of amazing experiences. And then property management kind of happened organically. Real estate went from occupation to passion when I saw the kind of impact it was having on people. The kind of, it's a game-changing asset. It's a life-changing asset. It really is. And so my wife and I, we started investing in real estate on the side.
Okay.
We started investing about 6 years ago. And as we grew our portfolio, we looked for management companies. And a couple of poor experiences later, we're like, nope, we're going to do this ourselves. And so we started building systems and set up the software and set up we set up a system that we could build and scale and robust enough to where it was fair to the tenants, it was easy for the landlords, and it made this process a little all-inclusive one-stop shop that a landlord can come in and plug it and play into, and that was awesome. And clients around the time, they saw it and they loved it, and they said, "You manage your own stuff, why can't you manage ours?"
Sure.
And fast forward a couple of years, and we're managing 84 properties.
Wow.
Across Austin, San Antonio, and yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's very, very fulfilling.
Nice.
Yeah.
So your co-founder is your other co-founder, your spouse?
No, it's
Okay.
actually it's an agent that I know from back in the day.
Okay.
And he is now also a broker and actually an attorney from a past life.
Awesome.
Which is great.
Yeah, great partnership.
Which is great. But yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge. He's been doing it a couple of years longer than I have.
Okay.
And it started as this, hey, we're both trying to do this. Why do both of us have to do the hard, the uplift? Why can't we combine forces? I believe in faster alone, further together.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened.
Oh, I
And
like
so,
that. Faster alone, further together.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah, and that's exactly what both of us lean into, and so far so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a simple thing, this business ownership game. And it's great to have a partner. Steve and I are partners in our business. It's a little complicated because we're married, so we're together a lot, but we really like each other. But Steve joined the company full time almost 2 years ago.
Okay.
And before that, we've been in business about 6 years. And before that, he would go and work all day and then come home and work. We'd work on Moss Consulting at night. And then but it was like lonely because during the day, I'm like, he's working, I can't really bother him, know. And so now that we have each other here together, it's decisions aren't made alone anymore, and it's just really nice to have a partnership.
It's
and
amazing.
It's great to have a mentor. It's great to have, people that you work with, but to have like a true partner who's like in the risk with you is comforting.
It is. And it becomes comforting when they become this, I like to use the word thought partnership.
Yeah.
That soundboard where it's like, hey, I have all these thoughts in my head and I just want to spit them out.
Yeah.
Break them down, put them back together, and then tell me if I made sense.
Yeah.
Right? That's powerful.
Yeah, it really is. It's really fun.
That's awesome. Good for you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We try every day. It's not an easy thing. Partnerships aren't easy. I mean, even when like it's not your spouse, having a partner where, and you're working with someone. I think that any two people that have the gumption and the like level of being okay with risk that want to work together, like to start a business, there's a level of, I don't know if aggression's the right word, but like drive and stubbornness to entrepreneurs that, it's just it's a beautiful partnership that when you find someone that you trust and you can have a disagreement with, or you can have these like thought-provoking conversations. It's like, build something, which is your business. And then people like send you money every month to do what you do. And every month you're like, oh, this is amazing.
It's crazy. Yeah.
How are you doing this?
I had a mentor once about partnerships. Mentor shared, he said the most successful partnerships are the ones where you are strategically aligned but tactically misaligned.
Yeah.
So mission-wise, make sure you're on board, you're same, you're clear, you know what your vision is. But day to day, different ideas, different approaches.
Yeah.
That's very healthy.
Yeah. Oh, very,
It's very
very.
healthy.
So talking about teams, you have a team, or
We
is
do.
it just the two of you?
No, we do. We do.
Okay.
We have a core team and
Okay.
then a network of vendors. And
Okay.
so core team is myself, my partner Ryan, accounting, operations, maintenance, and then the vendor network is, I mean, you think of it
Yeah.
and it's there. And
Yeah.
these are now that we're fortunate we're doing it at scale. We have a preferred vendor network where prices, service, reliability, communication, speed, it's guaranteed, it's quick, and it's efficient, right? Which is awesome.
That's
And
great.
everything from plumber to flooring to HVAC, it's all there.
All the things. When you're dealing with renters, so you never really probably know what you're walking into after a lease is up or someone moves out randomly. Like,
Yeah, even in the middle of a lease, like
really?
we live in, it's Texas. I mean, there's so much going on. Pest control and ACs and 2021 freeze. That happened, right?
Right.
So it just you never know when which direction the pendulum's swinging in.
Yeah, that's amazing. I know on the commercial real estate side that the property managers, I never envied them, like the things that they would deal with. Because it's kind of like we're in HR, right? So we deal with the people, and every day is a new day. There's always, I tell people I'm still surprised by some of the stuff we come across. I'm sure it's very similar to what you guys are doing. You're dealing in people's homes, like.
Absolutely. It's not glamorous at all.
Okay.
And we have this saying. It's actually in our welcome packet. It says, 100% of people want to own real estate, but 0% of people want to deal with the headaches that come with real estate.
Right.
And that is literally the problem we solve, right? You're outsourcing your headache
Right.
with the benefit of capitalizing on a long-term, life-changing asset. That's the play.
That's amazing. And I think that you're right. I mean, people buy homes and then their life grows and then they go buy another one and they're like, what, should I sell this home or rent it out? And how often do you get people who are like, how hard could it be? I'll just manage my home. And then like, how often do you see that?
I speak with, I would say, at least 2 to 3 landlords a week who self-managed last year or the year before. And unfortunately, something went south. The thing about property management is you don't realize, there she is.
Sorry,
Hi,
Kate, you got to go in, Bookie.
Hi.
So I would imagine that people who have a home or bought a home as an investment think, how hard could it be? I could manage this. Do you run into that often?
All the time. All the time. I would say 2 to 3 times a week. I'll speak with a landlord who is now inquiring on our website or knocking on our door going, hey, I need help. They were self-managing. They were like, oh yeah, my home's relatively new, or I live relatively close. The thing about property management is it's something you don't realize you need until something happens.
Right.
Until something bad, something wrong or something bad or something unfortunate happens, and then you're like, oh, I needed to do that, right? It's such a nuanced industry and it's such a nuanced process. There are 101 things you have to consider. Something simple like a security deposit.
Sure.
Right? Something simple like that. Most landlords don't know that when they take on a new tenant, they have to store the security deposit in a completely different checking account.
Right.
You're not allowed to store it, and so little things like that. We speak with landlords every week who unfortunately had a poor experience self-managing, and now they're like, hey, the peace of mind is way more worth it than the 11 o'clock at night call about a broken dishwasher.
Right. Or the AC or
worse. I mean,
a toilet.
Last week we had someone in San Antonio. They contacted us. They found us through Google, and they had a rental property in Northeast San Antonio, new build, rented it out. They didn't visit the property in about a year and a half.
Okay.
And tenants just moved out. They ran an inspection, $32,000 worth of repairs.
Oh, no.
And the tenants are gone. And that's I mean, that's one of so many examples of where property management, I mean, we're checking in on the house once a quarter.
Right.
We're going, hey, how's it going? We'll take a look. Let's make sure the tenants are safe. Let's make sure the property is safe, right? And so little things like that, I mean, it's one of the, if not the most expensive asset anyone owns,
Sure.
right? And so caring for that in the best possible way is, I mean, in my opinion, it's well worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's really easy to get in over your head when you think like, you know, how hard could it be? If someone's going to live in the house. And I think it's like anything else. If you don't, if like you own your home, you live in your home, you're going to take care of the home that you've made an investment in and that you saved up, you know, like you had a very conscious, very like intentional way of purchasing and living in your home. People who are renting, there's just no way they're going to care as much as you do. And even if it's not that people are bad, I mean, I'm sure that people go in and live but people like kids and animals and all of these things that could happen.
Absolutely. And I think tenants are awesome, as are landlords. The important thing to note is we have to run real estate ownership in a professional, business-like way.
Right.
Running it that way is what's going to benefit everyone.
Both
right?
sides.
Both sides, exactly.
Right.
And I think a lot of landlords, me included initially, we start to tell ourselves the story, right? We're like, oh, we've lived in it, we've taken such good care of it, it's only 3 years old, we're only moving, 20 minutes down. They'll just Venmo us every month, How hard could it be, right? And like I said, unfortunately, more often than not, that goes south, and the damages are exponentially more than what a year's worth of property management would have been.
Sure.
Right? That $30,000 expense, his property management fees over the course of 2 years would have been less than $3,000.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's got to be a tough
Yeah,
pill to swallow
it
too,
is.
as an owner of like, we're saving all this money and then you're not.
It is, and this is kind of I love and hate about what I do is I'm a landlord first, a property manager second.
Okay.
And so when I speak to you, when I speak to a client, I love that I get to speak to them as a fellow landlord, right?
Right.
And I've rented, I now own, so I've been through it. And when a landlord like that comes to me, my gut is not even to go, I told you so. It's more
Right.
like, I really feel for you. That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough. And hey, let's get you taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure that your list of preferred vendors can probably, if they start working with you, can be really like advantageous for even new clients.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The average landlord's vacancy time, I mean, it reduces typically 3 to 5-fold when going with property management. Just because what happens typically is when tenants move in and then eventually they move out.
Sure.
The vacancy time between, all right, tenants moved out, let me go in as a self-managing landlord, figure out what's going on. Now I have to find my vendor network to fix the property, get it back together. Now I have to list it, figure out how to do that. Then I have to screen them. It's a lot. For us, we start 60 days before any lease ends.
Right.
So by the time any tenant's moving out, they're set, they're good to go, and the property's great as well. And so vacancy just plummets.
Right. It lists right away.
Exactly.
That's great.
Goes a long way.